Today we have to move the next continuation part in the history lesson, impact of British rule in India. Keep in mind it is a big lesson, so may it took more 2 periods actually. So till to yesterday we are discussing about the Charter Act 1833. We have to get to know about that today. That is the Charter Act. What are the conditions of Charter Act 1858? 1858. Okay. So what are the conditions of the futures of Charter Act 1858? One is the license for the company what has issued, so that was cancelled. Okay, without the license the company, East India Company, can do its trading business. That according to the Charter Act 1858, what the license has given by the Indian king to do the trading business, it has cancelled actually. Then the whole Indian administration goes under the control of Queen Elizabeth actually. Then Governor General became the Viceroy. So here very important, Governor General became what? Viceroy. Next, one more post, superior post has given for the Governor General. He made as a Viceroy. Who was the first Viceroy? Lord Canning was the first Viceroy. Lord Canning was the first Viceroy. Keep in mind this. Okay, Governor General, by the Charter Act 1858, Governor General became the Viceroy and Lord Canning was the first Viceroy. Then the Secretary of the State for the Indian Council was created. Okay, in the Indian Council one new post has created, that is called as Secretary. Keep in mind. Okay, in the Indian Council a new post has created, that is the Secretary. Okay, may they will ask you the questions in the MCQ also. So that means when the Governor General became the Viceroy, or who was the Lord Canning, or when was the Secretary post was created. They will give the options like Regulating Act, Spits India Act, or Charter Act, or Indian Council Act, anything. Okay, you should be alert about the futures or the characteristics or the conditions or the rules, or they are called the regulations. Okay, so this is about the Charter Act 1858. Okay, so next one is the Indian Council Act. So up to here the Charter Acts are completed. So let us move about for the Indian Council Act. So in the Indian Council Act 1858. So let us see what are the futures. 1861. What are the futures of Indian Council Act 1861? Okay. So here Indians. So the Viceroy post has created in the year 1858 according to the Charter Act 1858. So for that Viceroy, okay, here they are giving, British gave an option for the Indians also to select for the Viceroy post. I mean, Indians were nominated for the Council of Viceroy. Viceroy was authorized. Okay, Viceroy was authorized in accordance to the declare the emergency in case of an emergency. Emergency in the sense we can call it as state emergency or the national emergency during the flood or the earthquake, like that. So the Viceroy was authorized to declare the emergency in a state or in a central. This is about the Indian Council Act 1861, and this policy, Indian Council Act 1861, is also known as policy of assertion. Keep in mind, it is also known as policy of assertion. So which act is called as the policy of assertion? That is very important. Indian Council Act 1861 or 1861 Acts is called as a policy of assertion. Why it is called as a policy of assertion? Because through this act the Indians were allowed to participate in creating the laws. Okay, so still not only the English peoples or the British has created the law and everything, that has to the people want to follow, but here by this act 1861 Act, the Indians were allowed to creating a laws, so that's why this act 1861 Act, Indian Council Act 1861, is called as the policy of assertion. So next is about the Indian Council Act 1892, very important. So what are the features of Indian Council Act 1892? One is that the addition members what are there in the regional council or the central legislative council body. Okay, in a regional council, or regional means small areas. Okay, regional council, or in the central body or the central council, or it is also called as the central legislative body, central council or central legislative body. So in that the members has increased in both. I mean, if it is 250 state legislature or the central legislature, if it is 180, 190, like that, if it is there, that members has increased according to the 1892 Act. Keep in mind. Okay, the members of the regional council or the central legislative council has increased. That is the first one. The second one is the authority of this central legislative council. Authority in the sense here power. Okay, so that power also increased, and provision was made to the question the government. Okay, to the public are allowed to questioning the government if they made any wrong. Still that British did not allow any public actually to question the government, but here according to the 1892 Act, the public can question the government. They are allowed, okay, the public to question the government to correct themselves. This is one of the great provision as provided by the British through the Act, Indian Council Act 1892. Okay, keep in mind. So next is about the Indian Council Act 1909. This act is very important actually, 1909, and the 1919 acts are very important. Indian Council Act 1909 and 1919 are very important. So this act, Indian 1909 Act, is also called as Minto-Morley Act. It is also called as what? Minto-Morley Act. Okay. So why this Indian Council Act 1909 is called as the Minto-Morley Act? Actually, during this implementation of this act, I mean 1909 Act, the Minto was the viceroy. Who was the viceroy? Minto was the viceroy, and Morley was the secretary of this secretary by that time, secretary of the East India Company. Okay, so that's why this act is in the combination of Minto and Morley Act. Keep in mind. Okay, during this implementation of the Act 1909, the Minto was the viceroy and Morley was the secretary of the East India Company. So that's why it is also called as Minto-Morley Act. Very important. That thing you keep in mind. Next, let us see what are the features of 1909 actually. So here the regional council members and the central legislative council members both are increased. Even here also the central legislative council members, were increased from 16 to 60. This is very important. Okay, before this only the 16 members are there in the central legislative council, but after the implementation of 1909, it has increased for the 60, and the number of regional council member also increased even here also, and separate electorate college was created. That is very important. Separate electorate college. Why it has created electorate college? Actually, to create the awareness in the minds of the people to vote for the public respondent. Okay, to vote for the public respondent. So for that the electorate college has created to create the awareness about the election only, and along with that the representation of regional council was allowed. I mean, in the regional council the Indians also can represent. I mean, they can also what stand for the or nominate for the authority or the administration. So that is called as the representation of regional council was allowed. Okay, so this is about the 1909, very important actually this act here. So here also the central legislative council members are increased from 16 to 60 and the state legislative council members also increased. Then the separate electorate college was created and representation of regional council was allowed. I mean in that regional council the Indians also can nominate. So that is called as the 1909 Act. So and the last one that is very important, that is the in the name of Indian Council Act. These are all Indian Council Act. May they can ask you in the examination without Indian Council Act, just write the futures of 1861 or write the futures of 1909 like that. Keep in mind, so you should be ready for the here the chronological events are very important. Okay. Yes. What are the futures of 1919 Act? So this thing, okay, 1909 Act is called as a Minto Morley. 1919 Act is called as the Montagu-Chelmsford. Very important, Montagu-Chelmsford. Okay, so the Indian Council Act 1919 is also called as the Montagu-Chelmsford Act. Pronounce again, Montagu-Chelmsford Act. Why it is called as a Montagu-Chelmsford Act? Because the same answer we can give. That means during the implementation of the 1919 Act, the Montagu was the secretary here, not viceroy. He was the secretary and Chelmsford was the viceroy. Keep in mind. Okay. Here the first viceroy, then secretary. Here first word is secretary, then second one is viceroy. Okay. So that's why during this implementation the Montagu was the secretary and Chelmsford was the viceroy. That's why this act is called as the Montagu-Chelmsford Act. Let us see what are the futures of 1919 Act. The futures also very important. So that is the bicameral legislature was formed. Bicameral legislature was formed. I think you know about that unicameral and the bicameral legislature. Unicameral means having a single house. Bicameral means the constituents having the two houses. Two houses in the sense one is called as upper and another one is lower. I think you know about that. In a central and in the state, in a central the upper house is Rajya Sabha and the lower house is Lok Sabha. In a state the upper house is the legislative council and the lower house is legislative assembly. So like that is okay, the legislature which is having two houses, that is called as the bicameral legislature. Okay, so that bicameral legislature was formed by the 1919 Act, Montagu-Chelmsford Act. Keep in mind, I mean the legislature has been divided in administration has been divided in the by the two houses, that is called as upper houses and lower houses. And High Commissioner was appointed actually in a police system. High Commissioner, High Commissioner, that Commissioner superior officer it is, that is the High Commissioner was appointed. Then the diarchy was allowed at the regional government. This is very important. Diarchy was allowed at the regional government. What is mean by diarchy here? Monarchy means the whole administration ruled by the one person is called as the monarchy. Diarchy means the whole administration is ruled by the two persons, any two persons, that is called as diarchy. Okay, so in a regional only, which regional in the sense sub-provisions area, so there the diarchy was allowed. Diarchy means the sub-provisions and regions, everything has ruled by the two members. Okay, only it is allowed in the regional, not in a center, according to the 1919 Act. That is very important. So next is the provincial budget was separated from the central budget. That is very important. Provincial means small areas budget. Okay. So provincial budget was separate from the central budget. I mean central budget is separate, or the provincial budget, or means the state budget or the district budget or the taluk budgets, they are the different, they are separated. Okay, so these were the features of 1919 Act. Recall again, the bicameral legislature was formed. Bicameral legislature means legislature which is having the two houses, that is the upper house and the lower houses, and the high commissioner post was appointed and that post was created. Then the diarchy was allowed in the regional governments only, not in the central government. I mean regional governments, state districts, they are ruled by the two persons. Then the provincial budget was separated from the central budget. The last one, that is the Indian Government Act 1935. Indian Government Act 1935. This is also very important. So among these, actually 1909, 1919 and 1935 are very important. Keep in mind. Okay. So yes, what are the features of Indian Government Act 1935? So that is the federal system was formed. Federal system. So what is meant by federal system? Administration was under the manner of constitution, that is called as the federal system was formed. And famous RBI, I think you know about that. RBI means Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India also established in the year 1935. And this diarchy, what has started in a region, that diarchy has allowed in both in the sense in the central and the states. Diarchy was allowed in the central and the state. Then that federal court was established. Federal court was established. Federal court. I mean, if anybody is getting a not getting a loss according to the constitution, they can move for the federal court to get the justice. That federal court was established, and it helps to, this federal formation helps to frame the constitution. That is very important. So here the diarchy was established at the center and cancelled at the provisions or the region. So this is about the Indian Government Act 1935. Let us recall once again. So the rules of Indian Government Act 1935, actually the federal system was formed. Actually federal system in the sense I told you already, the administration is under the or according to the rule of constitution. Then RBI was established. RBI in the sense Reserve Bank of India was established. Diarchy was allowed in at the center but cancelled at the region. Okay, what the diarchy has formed according to the 1919 in a region, that was cancelled but it is allowed at the center. Okay, then federal court was established. This federal court helps to frame the constitution with the help of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in our India. So this is all the acts of regulations of the British, which are implemented to make their easy administration. Almost this lesson has completed. So in the next period we have to move for the fourth lesson. Thank you.